And we are live. I welcome everybody coming and join us today as we do our latest live stream of Dining and Doodles. As always, my name is Brittany Dotson, aka Embryo Arts. You can tune in with us as we do this live stream. I'm trying to pull up my stream manager right now so we can do all that. I can watch the chat on Twitch as well as on YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to tune in and chat as we do today's art, I will be happy to do that. And let's get on to the drawing. Hey guys! As always, we are doing a request. Today's request is to draw Nanoha from a series called Nanoha, disguising as Sailor Moon. As always, I've went ahead and done some sketch work here to basically do how I want this to set up, so it'll be a little bit quicker in the stream. We do this for about 2 hours every Saturday. We'll be doing these art requests. If you have a request that you want to be seen drawn here, it doesn't have to be a masking request, it can be anything else out there. You're more than welcome to join in and place a request in the chat at any time or through social media at any time, even before or after this video's posted. We do these as mostly requested by DeviantArt, so we get a couple masking requests. We'll go over a bit about masking since this is our last masking request of the year that will be drawn on this stream. Now, we still have some for Patreon requests, but this will be the last one for our requests here on the live stream. So we're not going to be having any more masking requests for the live stream for 2021. We will be doing one, I think, the second stream of 2022, but we'll get to that when it gets here. First off, I'm going to make my sketch a little bit faded, and you can see I've done this on a couple different levels here. Because I couldn't tell if I wanted to do more popular Nanoha that I see is the younger version, but I kind of wanted to do, since they both have the long sort of pigtail going, I wanted to do both of them, the adult, as adult as the characters are. A given Sailor Moon is, of course, a teenager, and I don't know how old Nanoha is at that point in the series. I can honestly say if I've watched Nanoha, it's far back in my memory. I don't recall it. But I mean, as always, we kind of want to work from a sketch that we've done here. It literally took me about 10-15 minutes to put this together for a sketch. We did the sort of bodybuilding here and went from there. And I'm not unfamiliar from doing Sailor Moon, as kind of some people are learning today. We just had the Patreon drawing this week drop that was Magical Princess War, and the big secret was, in fact, that the crossover comic that I've been doing for the last few years, which featured the likes of My Little Pony characters, and Star versus the Force of Evil, Rick and Morty, a little bit of South Park thrown in there, that Sailor Moon is part of this universe, and a big part of this universe. That she is actually the side that Star has wanted to go out on the adventure from the beginning of that comic series. So we're finally getting into that story arc. It's been a long time running, but I wanted to have the split up of Star and Marco where this was revealed at this point in time when they were in the Steven Universe world. Because much of Steven Universe's world reflected in Sailor Moon. Because a lot of them have to give credit, have to give nod to Sailor Moon. So this week we are doing a request to do as I said, it's going to be our last masking request for this year for the live stream. And it's Nanoha, like I said, I have no real experience with, but Sailor Moon I have years of experience with. back when I started as an anime fan on the web, which would have been 1996. We're getting ready to celebrate. Literally a month from now, we're going to be doing a live stream of 25 years of Embry Art. And when I started it, it started out as a Sailor Moon fan fiction of Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor. And if you have been on the web for a long period of time, you know that fan fiction kind of was one of the big things back in the day. And I don't know why my hand's being slippery. I am still kind of getting over being sick, so you're seeing kind of like a little bit of a shaky hand. But I also learned that my tablet is starting to show signs of wear, so I'm actually going to have to buy a new tablet in the next year. That is something that's going to happen. I'd appreciate it if I could get a tablet, if I could be awarded a tablet, but push comes to shove, I'll have to probably buy a new one. But yeah, I did Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor back in 1996. That was the original sort of Embry Arts content. It still exists on the main page, so if you go to embryarts.com, you can pick it up. You can read it. It's not good. I will admit it's not good. But we will be doing a live reading on December 10th stream, or whenever that stream is. If I have work involved at that time, I'm going to have to do the stream at a different point in time. But I do want to have a 12-hour stream for that. And so, yeah, one of the things that we'll do is we'll do a live reading of some of the Sailor Moon scripts from Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor. These were back in the day. And I still enjoy it. I still enjoy Sailor Moon. It was a wonderful series. I feel, it helped change what anime looked, in opinion. It was not the first anime I've seen in my life. It was not even remotely. As I say, I'm older, much older than most people out there, especially probably in the VTube world. I was a teenager. In fact, I was in high school, senior, when Sailor Moon came out. Originally in the U.S. In fact, I graduated in 1996 from high school. But I watched Sailor Moon. I had to get up every morning to go to school, and it came on right at that time. Hey, Justin, hey, Cooking Dojo, how's everything going? I'm a little bit sick, but I'm fine. Damien Tran, Sailor Moon is my favorite anime of all time. It is one of my favorites. It's always been one of my favorites. I've watched other shows before it. Project A-ko was one I've watched before. I will say the first animes I watched were actually pushed on me by my church, of all things. Nanohana is one of your favorites as well. Well, I think you were the one to request this, weren't you, Damien? It was either you or another person requested this series. This week. So, I don't recall Nanohana. Can you inform me, the long-haired Nanohana, what age is she in there? Because I know Sailor Moon, at least this version I'm drawing, is the crystal version from the first part of the series, which she would have been 13, 14. Yeah, you requested this. Do you remember what Nanohana, long-haired Nanohana is age-wise? I hope you feel better. I remember the first time I experienced Sailor Moon, it was stupid early, and my mom immediately turned it off and said, "Now yeah." Turned it off and said, "No, now I had to watch this." I I was getting up in the morning. I had to get up and go to high school right at like I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning. So this was what was I was watching when I was getting going with Sailor Moon. Caught one of the bad transformation scenes. My little 8-year-old brain didn't ever process implied nudity. Yes, Sailor Moon ruined a lot of childhood memories with implied nudity. And I was amazed. In fact, I was in college when the Clover, I think it was the Clover. I'm trying to remember. The It was the offshoot that did the finals part 2 seasons, or the all except for Stars. Um, but there is one scene, and I don't know how Cartoon Network got away with it, and I will say they did. Long hair Nanohana, Nanohair Force manga. Do you know how old she was, Damien, at that point? The character was at that point? My dad walked in and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm watching Sports Channel," and ran away. Hey, I technically I could sit there watch stream bad if I got up early enough. I could go from the point where you could watch the nudie channel badly streamed, even though it was blocked, you could still kind of watch it, and then turn on Sailor Moon, and that would probably be more acceptable. But I was 18 at that point. She was in her 20s at that time. Okay, so we actually have the older character disguising as the younger character in this sense, even though it's the reverse of the actual age here. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured with Nanahana because yeah, Sailor Moon at this point would be 13, uh, 13, 14. Uh, because the I know the Sailor Moon manga ends when she's about 15, 16. Um, which would have been where Stars is. But no, I mean, I remember watching Sailor Moon, like I said, an early morning before school, getting ready for school. But there was a scene on the airing on Cartoon Network, and I don't know if it slipped by censors or not. There is a nudity scene that made it onto live television. She's in the bathtub, and this was during the Cartoon Network airings, during the Adult Swim, or not Adult Swim, during the uh, Toonami first run. There's a scene where she's in the bath, and Chibi Usa, Rennie, Reedy, or whatever you want to call her, the annoying shrimp, comes in and joins her. Given they were still showing Goku's, block and tackle live also. She was 14 at the start and 16 by the end of the series. I kind of figured that with her. Nanohana was 9 years old in the first 2 series. Yeah, but I kind of wanted to do the adult because I wanted to do the two twin tails setup. I wanted to do the reflective twin tails. So I know she had a short twin tails at the younger series. But I kind of wanted to do the older one in this drawing. So we went with the older to do this drawing. But I mean, well, we were talking about the same company that made lesbian characters. Yes, yes, they did. They left the censoring of the child pornography in a sense, because I can say it's pornography, but it made an air on live television or on international television during the afternoon, and it slipped by the censors. But they made it kissing cousins instead of a lesbian romance. Most notoriously, and I can't give it to the DIC or Deke as people say. It's supposed to be, but I always call him Dick. Cloverway, representing the best of Japanese animation. Yes. I don't know if they did any other series Um, it's probably something worth looking into to see what else. I know there's a horrible reputation of ruined anime from companies that were beyond the normal companies. So beyond Funimation, beyond ADV, beyond even 4Kids. Um, there's like a reputation of the worst disasters in anime. Um, and Clover Way kind of, I am interested to look into the past of Clover Way because they're not a name that you come back up to. They kind of did the Sailor Moon dubs for, I think it's Supers and Super, and that's about it. That's all they did. They finished our story and they did the other two seasons, left off stars, and that was that. They did the Dragon Ball dubs before. Okay, so okay, then I have a copy of their Dragon Ball dubs because I got the official early Dragon Ball release somewhere in my collection. I have the Dragon Ball episodes. And I mean, we're not talking. Oh no, you're talking about the Z. Okay, Dragon Ball Z. No, no, never mind. Z. All right, I'm thinking of the early Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. There was somebody did the first 13 episodes of Dragon Ball, before Funimation, and it was not good either. It was crap. But it was probably better than the Z story. I know all I remember is they tried to edit the panties that is it Puar? No, no, it's what's his name? God damn it, Puar's the cat. What's the pig's name in Dragon Ball? The annoying pig. God damn, Oolong. The panties Oolong. Where Goku was called Zero. Oh God. If I mean it's on the lines of there's a Canadian dub, and I think only people have found it and watched it because they had it. They aired a preview of it. Oolong, yeah, Oolong. But there's a Canadian dub of One Piece. The first few episodes, and I know the One Piece podcast group aired a few of the lines from it, and one of them is "I love barbecue" or something like that Luffy was going crazy for, and it was a dumb, stupid episode. It was one of the early filler episodes that they aired to try and prove that they could get an audience for One Piece. And we're talking like the early, I think it was the Sanji cooking contest filler episode. And it goes to show that 4Kids is not the worst in the dubs out there. Um, 4Kids, I will give credit that 4Kids at least had somewhat decent acting staff. They abused them to hell, but and they just got away with crap. Funimation kind of was that way early, and they're kind of, I kind of want to say they're back to it a little bit. Yeah, I'm kind of doing some cheats here. If you do hold and shift, you can do some lines here straight, simply because my hand's shaking so much. Yeah, I've not been feeling well this week. It's part of the reason why there's been no Demon Blade this week. I've been a little bit behind on your work, Justin, a couple other things. I've been crashing like crazy because I've had. I'll give you guys a hint. I'll look into my life. I've been on several medications for years because they've been changing my medication provider. I've been off of my anxiety med for a month and a half. and because of that, I've not slept well. Um, I've literally been getting periods of sleeping about 2 to 3 hours throughout the day. Um, and with that, I feel sick all the time. So, I mean, it does not make things easy. Luckily, I just got in my new card with my medication, so I should be able to get my medication tomorrow and be back on it on Monday. That being said, I'll probably crash this next week pretty hard because I'll be getting all that sleep that I've been lacking and that my body has been forcing me to take. But this week I have been kind of crashing a bit. I've literally had a couple days where I've slept almost all day, and part of it has been because I felt like crap. I had no voice to do the stream Thursday. Despite doing 8 hour stream yesterday, unpredictably, we did it. I think we were doing. I felt like crap. I hadn't done much until that point. About Four Kids isn't considered the worst dubbing company. There was Speedy from Malaysia that did Sailor Moon dub that was considered worse than Cloverway. Which is the one that was going to do the live action? Was that the Speedy? They were going to do the live action scenes with Sailor Moon cut in. That one of they were going to make Amy in a wheelchair. It looked really really bad. That's all I remember. I know there were two live actions. Because there are two different live actions, but one of them had Amy in a wheelchair. Damien, I think, also did DBZ. It was awful. Oh God, the voice of Damien. Toby, his name's Toby. I remember that part. He's an okay actor. I remember he was in a live action TV show version of Police Academy, where he had a supposed twin brother who was black, and he was like the whitest of white characters. I eat the rice, it gives me power. Yes. Toon Makers was the one who proposed the live action. All I remember is when Sailor Moon was getting started, there was so much hate in the news media on it. Because they were like, oh, well, here's a cartoon about girls, but it teaches them to fight. It's like, oh, well, can't have that. Tiki from Deke produced cartoon. I know what you're talking about. No, there was an actual live action Police Academy TV show. It was produced in Canada, but I think it was also produced by Deke. It was not good. I think it ran for about 6 episodes before it got canceled. But the voice of Tuxedo Mask from the Deke / Cloverway translation of Sailor Moon, he played. I think it was supposed to be one of. I'm trying to remember the name of their different characters, but the guy that did all the voices, Michael Winslow's character, in the Police Academy, he played one of his children, and he was the white child, out of his children, and it was weird. He looks goofy. I heard there was that one, the Police Academy one. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. They tried it too hard. I mean, they just tried way too hard to make that funny, and it was not. But yeah, to go back to sort of my relationship with Sailor Moon, it kind of started in Arts. The series was Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor, not spelled like this galaxy, but spelled, and the female version of Andromeda would be spelled, which would be Meta and not Meta. So I mean, that's how Embry Arts kind of got its start. Was off of Sailor Moon. We were big with the SOS program back in the day, let's see, once that started taking off, I started Anime in America, which was one of the first fan magazines out there on the internet, and was sort of a news site for anime for about 2 years. But other live action, Sailor Moon, called Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, which changed things. Yeah, I loved the live action Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon got you into started in creating. It didn't get me started in creating. If I were actually to say what got me started in creating, there are two stories. One of which is the basis of the name Embrya Arts, which is a story called The Quest of Embrya, which is a short story I started writing back when I was 12. And it was a fantasy sort of, I could almost say it was an isekai at the beginning, from the get-go. Except for the main character came from 1970, because his father died in Vietnam at the beginning of the story. And he kind of was alone in the world at that point. I'll go into that a bit during the Embrya Art stream, where the name comes from and whatnot. But the other one was sort of a Friday the 13th fan game that I created with another person in middle school, where we kind of did the idea of a Friday the 13th, but school created. Probably wouldn't get away these days. It's you're talking pre-Columbine days. I being in high school when Columbine came out. But yeah, I got into creating before then. I was in art school when I started really drawing the characters for Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor. I wanted to do an edgier Sailor Moon, which was odd to say. But it was the 90s. Hey, edgy was the thing, man. Edgy was the thing. And that's what Andromeda Factor was. It's basically the main character was one of the soldiers of the Moon Kingdom, just sort of like the foot soldiers, that survived. She actually survived the attacks. But in the process of her getting ready to capture this main villain, she gets stopped and put into the, sleep for 1,000 years. Speaking of live action Sailor Moon, imagine live action film series would be adapted in arcs of separate films. I've watched, like I said, I've watched the live action. It was pretty good. Out of all the live action anime or magical girls, I'm glad that finally, and I'll give a shout out to it, that the Cutie Honey live action is coming to America. I'm glad that's finally coming to America. I watched that when it was originally airing in Japan, and I absolutely loved that series. Check it out if you haven't. Discotek is finally releasing it. It is absolutely brilliant. And one of the villains, the villain's catchphrase is literally shit. That is his catchphrase because he keeps having something bad happen to him. He's that sort of neat, primpy, good-looking character. And he speaks English. He speaks perfectly good English. At first, I thought it was the actor that played Screech on Saved by the Bell, because it kind of looks like him, but he's not. But he played this sort of neat, clean villain, prissy villain, and every time something bad would happen, it's like a bird poops on his shoes or something, and he gets all pissed off. He'd be like, "Shit!" He's like, "Fuck! I'm gonna slaughter them all." And he carried through. He'd go nuts and kill everybody. But it was probably one of my favorite live action series I've seen that is anime represented. The other one I will give good credit to, even though they didn't have Yayoi, was You're Under Arrest live action. Um, and I'll give it credit to also having a very good opening song because they used a Mariah Carey song that I'd never heard of, that I still have in my playlist. And I'm not a huge Mariah Carey fan going into the Christmas season. I will say that. But I will give credit that that song is a very good and powerful song. Um, but yeah, not having the crossdresser, the feminine crossdresser in the series, kind of brought it a down point for that one series for me. Um, and I mean, it goes to show. I mean, I have multiple tastes and types of anime and whatnot. I know the live action anime cast for One Piece has now been announced, or at least the main cast. Um, I'm looking forward to it. Heard you're under arrest, but I've never seen the anime. I don't know. Didn't know there was live. Yes, there is a live action. I think Korea did the live action. To be honest, um, because I think it's more of a Korean live action. Um, but the series, it if you ever wanted to see just sort of what it's like for the police to just day to day. I mean, they go from weird scenario after weird scenario in that series. It's from the creator that did Ah My Goddess. But it shows his love, of course, with machines again. But it's basically about a average traffic police station. That's all it is, and the drama that occurs there. That's all it is. Um, it's kind of sweet, kind of enjoyable. The two main characters have a great personality, and there are lots of great gags, and it's an enjoyable, underrated series from people. Um, and there's a great dub from Anime Go that does it. I can see who made it because I got it right in front of me. Um, it's a good series. The live action, like I said, is probably a K drama, and they just mainly had the main three, maybe four and five would be the chief and the underling girl, under the chief. But they have the main two females, of course, and then the male cop who she adores, who's the bike cop. Um, so I mean, it's a good series for people to check out if you want sort of just like a nice little timid comedy or whatnot. That being said, they do have a American series that they brought, and it's not American in America, or it's not something that it was brought to America. No, it was they have a season where they go to America, and the show went from calm, relaxed, sort of drama, romantic scenario, kind of scenario there, to we've got guns, bang, 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 shoot them all. Which was, if you watch that season, I think it's You're Under Arrest, USA or something. I think that's what they called it. It's absolutely the reverse of the series. I don't know if the creator himself or herself, I don't remember if it was a male or female that did the series. Um, I don't remember if the creator, I think it's a him on that one, because I think it's Koji as his name. But I don't know if the creator had created the American story. I think that was an offshoot, because it was a popular '90s anime. If people don't know much of the '90s anime, you don't get all the blood, the gore, and excitement that from all of the anime out there. I mean, sometimes you just have a nice, relaxing anime. Um, and yeah, well, you'll sometimes get paranormal stuff, but You're Under Arrest was weird. It was that sort of day of the life of the traffic cop. And yeah, they'd have, dramatic moments where it'd be like, oh, here's this maniac driving across the street, causing these massive accidents throughout this area. We need to go in and stop them, that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's just silly. That's all it was. It was just silly joy. In fact, I might put it up on a rewatch for our anime group that we kind of do monthly. I might suggest that in the future because it's an underrated series in my opinion. Um, and if you've ever watched You're Under or Oh My Goddess series, you know the creator has a thing for vehicles. They have a hard on for vehicles and in detail, and they make no difference in this series. Uh, I didn't know that Andromeda Factor came out in '96. Yes, yes. Damien, I see you switched over to Twitch there for a moment. Yes, I released Andromeda Factor in 1996. Um, that was how long ago it originally came out. Given I rewrote the series back in, I think, 2004, 2005, from where it's currently at. Uh, where can you watch it? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who has it. AnimeGo has the rights, and I don't know if AnimeGo has any streaming rights. So I don't know who has You're Under Arrest. They may have. I mean, I really don't know. I've got it on DVD. That's the only way I've been able to see it. Let me check here. You're Under Arrest. Anime. Okay, the series was created by Kyosuke Fukujima. So yeah, who did, of course, he did Oh My Goddess, Yuri Yuri, Fushigi. Or no, wait, hold on a second. He did not do Fushigi Yugi. All right, let me get this straight here. I'm going to go on the Wikipedia here, but I'm also going to see. You can watch trailers and a couple full episodes on Dailymotion. Okay. High Dive seems to have it. Okay, so High Dive has it. So if you want to watch it, apparently it is streaming on High Dive. Yeah, season 1 is on High Dive. Well, seasons 1 through 3. It's 52 episodes of season 1, 24 episodes of season 2. Or I mean season 3. It's a long running series. But yeah, it's on High Dive apparently. So you can watch it. It was brought out by Kosuyo Fukujima through Kodansha. And let's see. Of course, he did. Actually, this would have been his first series then, his first popular series. And it ran alongside with him doing Oh My Goddess. So he did Oh My Goddess, Tales of Fushan, Fantasia, Sakura Wars, EX Driver, Gungrave. Okay, he did Tales of Symphonia series, so I that ties in. He does most of the Tales series. He's a character designer for the series. As an author and illustrator, he's doing Topio GP currently. He hasn't done much manga, so I mean, his only mangas he's done is Topio GP, Paradise Residence, EX Driver, Oh My Goddess, and You're Under Arrest. And then You're Under Arrest, it was his first series, which is kind of odd considering it ran alongside with him doing Oh My Goddess at the same time. Good Lord, he did Oh My Goddess all the way up to 2014? Jeez. I know it just ended, but jeez. Yeah, going back though to my series, Andromeda Factor, yeah. 2000 or 1996 is when I started it. Came up with the idea. Basically, as I said, the Warrior Andromeda, basically, she kind of felt gypped. She felt like, oh, well, only one person could do, or one of two people could send me into this future timeline. Um, yeah, it did end. They finally, Keiichi finally. I can even tell you what happened at the end because I remember reading the final chapter years ago. Um, Keiichi had to race to win Bell Dandy after from God. He and Bell Dandy had to run a race, not fall off of like this endless void pit on a motorcycle bike, and do it for God. Basically, he's like, God's like, you want the chance, you got a winner. Here's this tiny, tiny little path that you got to run this race on. You can't go slow, and you have to do it all to win. And he does. He wins, of course, because it's a romantic comedy series. Of course, he's gonna win her in the end. Uh, it's sweet. It's enjoyable. I don't even know if the animes portrayed the ending. I don't know when the second Oh My God series came out and when it ended. It may have done the ending. I need to redo this arm because it's screwed up. Um, but yeah, I mean it's a sweet ending. They end up together. The end. They have a happy life together. Because I mean, it's his goddess. It's the goddess he wanted to have with his life all for the rest of his life, which is what his wish was. Um, it, they still kind of do the whole, they don't want to get together thing for years, and that was always the main annoying thing as an Oh My Goddess fan who picked up each issue from what was it, Dark Horse, I think was releasing the series. Um, but picking up each issue was just so frustrating because I was picking them up by comic book issue because it was a monthly release series, and he did it or they released it in the U.S. like a typical comic book, as well as the manga books. And I eventually gave up and just started doing the manga books on that series for a long time. But I remember going monthly and having that as because when I was in college, one of the things I would do every Tuesday night, I would put down, or I would go and have a burger at Nacho Mama's, which is a taco place. Very, very interesting to have a burger from a taco place, but I would go there because it was one of the only places I could get a taco at 7 or 8 o'clock at night on the campus because I had a classes at night. I had science fiction writing class, and I had a scuba diving class. So I would go there. I would have my burger that night, and I would pick up a comic from the comic book store, which was literally about 2 doors down from there. And I would pick up X-Men at the time. They were going through the Onslaught storyline. I would pick up Oh My Goddess storyline, and occasionally they'd have manga, and I'd pick up the Rama series. Some of the Tenchi. I think I picked up a Cowboy Bebop at the time. Um, it was a weird one to do at the time. That's what I did every Tuesday night. That was sort of a ritual for me during my college years. Was just to go and enjoy and pick up a new manga to read. Occasionally, I pick up some manga from not from Mixine, from Tokyo Pop. So I pick up America manga. Some of the people that would create from America that would do it. I also picked up my comic book pages. That's back when I did. If those of you who have seen me at cons, I know Justin, you've seen me there at cons because you saw me. You would have seen my comic book pages. That's where I got my comic book pages from. The shop there would sell them in packs, and I'd be buying them twice a week from them on a regular. So I was one of the regular set buyers of those pages, so they continuously bought them for me. I think a year later, they finally started getting them in the art stores because I was like, hey, I'm spending a lot of money. I'm giving them to your comic book stores over here. You guys could have gotten me the pages and I would have paid you, but no. And if you've never drawn on a traditional comic book page, it's weird. It's a bristle board. It has the no copy blue on there. If you don't know what a no copy blue is, it is a blue line, literally about like this shade. If I can do it here, like that. That if you took it to a copier and copied it, it wouldn't copy. That's what a no blue sign or a blue line would. No copy blue would be. And as pencils, you'd buy the no copy blue pencils to do all your sketch work. There was also a no copy red that you could do to kind of do the reverse. And in animation and training with other programs, that's kind of what you would do. And with traditional art. These days, you do layers through digital. So I mean, like we're doing here, we're doing it on layers. But those days, you do it with a no copy blue, and I think I still have some no copy blue and red pencils, to be honest, because I would buy them just in bulk, kind of like I would buy Sakura pens in bulk. And that was back when you could buy them cheaply. Sakura pens now cost, I think the last time I saw them in Michael's was $8 to $9 a pen. They are not cheap anymore. Given they weren't cheap back then either. They were about $2, $3 a pen. But they were not cheap ever. But they're especially not cheap now. They're very expensive now. But they're the kinds of pens you do if you want to do illustration, because they're a nice, clean pen. If you wanted to be real fancy and do the manga style, you'd get yourself a dip pen. I did have one. I hated them. They don't work as well if you're not trained in them, which the American population does not really train too much in calligraphy pen. While I did learn how to do it in high school to use a calligraphy pen to write calligraphy, I was not taught how to draw with calligraphy pens. So I had to learn by the hard way, which was ruining a lot of good pages by doing it. But going back to Andromeda Factor, yeah, the main character of Andromeda Factor outside of the Guardians, or the Scouts in that case, because I was using the dub to go by, was Andromeda. She was basically, you had a warrior from the Moon Kingdom. It was just the typical grunt that got betrayed. It felt like she got betrayed. That the whole being put asleep for 1,000 years and whatnot. And so she blamed, from the early point, she blamed Sailor Moon because, well, the queen is not alive. She doesn't have the queen to blame for it. She doesn't know what's going on. And so I kind of went with that story as the basis of the creation of what would develop in other series. And Andromeda, basically, much of Andromeda's personality and character became what is Mai today for Demon Blade. she was a bit of a sour note. I did have an original series with Andromeda, or as her translated name or English name would have been, it would be Moira. Um, she had basically, I mean, a very tragic past throughout the story. Um, her father was killed in the beginning of the series, and as we learned throughout the things, that we learned that the crystal, I gave the origin to the silver crystal in the series as being from her mother, being the first one to sacrifice herself to become the crystal. That basically her mother was the sort of royal magician for the Moon Kingdom. And Moira basically starts to gain into that personality. And as she develops, she learns that, or grows in the story, she learns that, not only does she know who Sailor Moon was and is, they used to be best friends as young children back on the Moon Kingdom. And so they have this sort of tragic past that they're trying to bring back together. But there's still stuff getting in the way between them. So, I mean, that's basically what Andromeda Factor was a little bit of, continuous problems. Moira being older, she ended up having a relationship with Darien slash Tuxedo Mask slash Momu, Chiba. I mean, basically, she had a work relationship with him. And it was something that, because I had the series taking place in their final 2 years of high school for the girls. Usagi slash Serena she's getting jealous. She's getting upset because there's this relationship that she can't have with her boyfriend, that this girl that originally wanted to kill her, who used to be her best friend, is kind of having sort of a better relationship with her boyfriend. And I mean, that's kind of the thing when you write, and I never understood this because I used to read a lot of fan fiction back in college, because I had nothing better to do with hours at the time. And I never understood that with people who did Sailor Moon fan fiction. They did not keep in the mindset that there has to always be a turmoil between Usagi and Momo. There always has to be that inner turmoil of their relationship for each season to work, or for each story to work. And so one of the things that I saw a lot of people do is they either completely went. I still don't know that you had worked on Andromeda since 1996. Yes, I had worked on that series since 1996. It was originally originated in 1996. That is what I did it back in 96. I started it not knowing how Sailor Moon ended, honestly. Not knowing it, how it properly ended. I went with what was based off of the dubs at the time. I was an early SOS member that really forced the promotion to Cartoon Network. I know I was happy when we got it to USA television to re-air, and then we got it to Cartoon Network, and I was really happy. Because I was like, yeah, that's what I was pushing you from the get go. But yeah, I mean, it was something of a way to fill my time in college. I would, in between classes, I would sit there and write. I would write the scripts for Andromeda Factor in between classes. I kind of like how I do or was doing the isekai for the last year while I was at work. Because my position, I had to wait for orders to come in. If I didn't have an order coming in, I was typing up the scripts for the isekai or the writings for the isekai. Um, Nowadays, I have to force myself to do the isekai because I've got nothing better to do with my life. That will hopefully change this week, though. I do have some stuff in the works that'll change that this week. At least a little bit of pocket change, hopefully, coming my way. Um, but yeah, I originally was going to take Moira / Andromeda and put it in a new series. I don't know if I'll ever redo this series. After I saw Cowboy Bebop, I came up with an idea of a series. And I was involved at the time with a group that was going to do their original anime. And this was one of the first groups, like in 98 to 2000. They wanted to do an original anime in America. Um, I don't know what happened with the group, but we were piecing together, and I was designing some of the characters for the series uh, back in high school, or I mean, back in college. And I borrowed some of the things to design in this new series that basically was going to be that magic was rediscovered and helped advance science and technology beyond its limits. Um, that had long since been buried, but it was finally found again. Um, Early Oneka kind of looks like her past self. You saying this kind of looks like the earlier Nekahana and not the adult version? I'm using this version right here. I guess because she has one tail. I have seen some statues with two tails, which is what I kind of used as a basis for drawing the sketch. Um, like I said, I have not really got much experience. I'll have to check it out. I'm sure it's a good series. Yep. Okay. So you want me to do her one tail, or you want me to do two tails? I could even do the younger version. I could just do the smaller twin tails before I finish drawing it. And it is your request, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm watching you. Let's see, trying to see here. Could you do the young one? Okay, sure. Yeah, we'll do it the young way. Okay. Well, the young version. So the thin hair twin tail, not the long hair big twin tail. Okay. So let's see here. Let me see if I can pull one up and add it to our stream here. Let me just erase that little bit. I actually requested something similar to this 3 years ago. I think I did recall somebody requesting this before. So you may have requested this before. Let me see if I can pull this up since I got this up. Da, 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 da. Waiting for the image to load properly here. Here we go. So you're talking that Nanaha. Transform scale with the smaller twin tails. Where's the other one? I mean, that's doable. I mean, that's actually a lot easier to draw those twin tails than it is Sailor Moon's twin tails. I will say that. I kind of regret. Well, I don't regret it. Maya's hair is very much involved because of Sailor Moon. When I was drawing Maya, I kind of was drawing a Sailor Moon-esque character. So I mean, that needs to be thicker. Okay, so thick, and well, shoot, stays the same. This is what's always a pain in the ass. Mai was basically, when I first drew Mai, it was a bit of a joke as a villain. I wanted to create a villain for Andromeda Factor. And I came up with the design for Mai along that lines with a villain. Because I was coming up with characters for Andromeda Factor. I know I have Centaurus as one of the villains, and then of course the main villain, Geo, who's a male. And I just wanted kind of like that pure asshole, almost Joker-like quality villain with Geo, but with Sen, she was supposed to be a bit more of this poor. I don't like the way the hair's situated on there. So let's. I think the second strand was actually going better than the first one. Let's see. But characters like those, you got to think through what kind of personality you want the character to be. I do like Geo. I still want to come back to Geo as a villain. For Andromeda Factor, I love the concept of that Joker-esque villain where he's just like, screw it, I'm just here to destroy it all. For no other reason, just because I can. Still don't like it. Still don't like it. Liking the first one there, but not liking the second one. There we go. That's a much better turn. And that last part is not. Okay. But Demon Blade, I do think I have. Well, do I have that Joker-esque kind of villain? I don't really think I do, actually. Let me think back. Maybe I'll have to create one for Demon Blade, or well, the new series that's going to be coming out hopefully soon. Will have characters that are going to be memorable, but I think they're more going to be on the lines of Aqua Teen Hunger Force type memorable characters and villains where they're just complete annoyances. No one's going to be good in that series, and essentially they're just all kind of be assholes. But in Demon Blade, yeah, I probably could use a Joker-esque villain. There are a couple of different villains. Let's see. And I'm gonna be. This is gonna be sort of a spoiler for Demon Blade here. Some of the names of the villains. I I have a character called Trillion. She's going to be a bit of an asshole that keeps showing up. You all, of course, by now have met August. The rival character who's... Ah, crap. That got cold water on me. The rival character that is sort of a bit of a jerk, in a sense, to her own friends, supposed friends. She doesn't treat her friends well for the most part. She kind of gets worse and worse as the year goes through. Male villains, you have, of course, Yoku, who is arrogant in his own ways, strong and determined, but he's not a jokey villain. Then we have a few blade users, or weapon users, that'll appear. And their names are, in fact, one of them's already been used in the series, and you kind of got a glimpse of him earlier in the series. His name is Gavin the Ripper Randall. Give you a hint as to, who he's connected to with his name. But he's kind of, I think, generic. I might have to do something with him. I might have to make him a bit more Joker-like. He's supposed to be a bit along the lines of reflecting. In fact, his character design is very much built on an aged version of Billy Idol, but differently than how Billy Idol looks nowadays. Kind of like if Billy Idol kept that sort of persona that he kept in the 80s to 90s as a villain today. Which Joker do you plan to have as a villain influenced? Heath Ledger's Joker Dark Knight, Joaquin Phoenix from the Joker movie. I have yet to see Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I plan to do see it. That is on my list to watch. And Heath Ledger's is okay. I was thinking more along the lines of Mark Hamill Joker type than live action Joker. The kind that is, the asshole that will kill you, but at the same time just wants to do it because it's funny. That's why he's there. He wants it because it's funny. Not because it's just chaos or that some damage. It's because it's funny. I don't know if Joaquin Phoenix's Joker kind of played that role. I know he was mentally disturbed, but did that because it was funny. I don't know. I kind of like Mark Hamill's portrayal of Joker more than the live actions. Yeah. Batman the Animated Series. By all means, I have a book a book of the series creation and whatnot and study from Bruce Timm's work. And my favorite thing in there is Bruce Timm drew out everything the censors won't allow in the series in one single drawing, which has Batman, I think, naked, jumping out of a window with explosions, choking the Joker in one hand, carrying there's like a dead kid in the picture with Catwoman's naked riding his back. That's who it is naked. And the Batman's saying fuck or some word like that. And that was the drawing of, you cannot air this on television. It's like, no kidding. So, I mean, it's a nice ironic moment of what can be acceptable and cannot be acceptable in censorship. And the fact that it was one of those moments where I was kind of surprised when they did go back to in Batman Beyond, the movie, the Mask of the Phantasm or whatever. I forget the name of the movie, Batman Beyond movie, but they went into the what was the series? Was it the Killing Joke? That Joker killed or beat the hell out of Robin with a crowbar and made him snap. Well, die. And Beyond, he just snaps. But they still had it in there, and it's like, what? But I mean, it's that moment would not. I would of the mindset that animated series would never touch that moment. Um, from the comics. And I think for the longest time, I think even Bruce Timm was of the mindset that they'd never be able to do the Killing Joke. And now they've done the Killing Joke, which is kind of odd. Return of the Joker. Yeah, Return of the Joker. Okay. But yeah, they did a switch up on the Killing Joke where I know in the Killing Joke, the Joker kills Robin. Well, I have to use air quotes because that Robin comes back as Red Hood later. But he kills that Robin in the Killing Joke, and he of course handicaps Batgirl. And that's where Batgirl becomes Origin or whatever. Also, fun fact: Return of the Joker was the first used sequel to Batman first used for the sequel to the Batman NES game. Wow, I remember the NES game. Batman was highly rated, which I never understood. I've never played a good Batman game, but then I've never played the Arkham games. I think I'm gonna have to play the Arkham games on stream, because I've never played them. I know right now we're going through the Tales games, so I might have to put the Arkham games on the list. I know I've had a request for Among Us, but to do Among Us, I need to have a lot of people to do them, or do a group, because otherwise the game's gonna suck. And I mean, we're going to go through the Tales games are going to be a long time going. We're on the probably the shortest one right now, which is Symphonia, which is one of my favorites out of the series so far. Although I've not played all of the Tales games. But yeah, we're in for a long haul with the Tales games for right now. I expect that'll probably keep going for the rest of the next year. To go through all of those. The Minecraft game, maybe switch up. We might have a third game come into play, and I might make it the Arkham games. I don't know. It'd be hard to say. I've not played. I've seen people play the Arkham games. It looks great. I've not played them. And it was kind of the mindset, I think, with Spider-Man. I got burned with Spider-Man for so many years, and then they finally came out with the Spider-Man game for the PlayStation, for the original PlayStation, and that's when they finally got them right in a video game. And then they just copied and pasted that over and over again, till they came out with the latest Spider-Man games, which are pretty good. I will admit. I've only played the first one out of those series, and I still haven't even beaten it. So I mean, I can't even say much about the Spider-Man game that PlayStation released as of late. I hear the second one of of the latest versions is short. Uh, the one with Miles, but I would have I would have loved to play Miles. Um, I loved the concept of Miles Morales for a long time when they came out with him. I've at the same time, I've always been of the mindset, create your own characters. And I mean, I do enjoy Spider Gwen's or whatever they call her now, Ghost Spider. Um, and Miles Morales. I do enjoy those characters. I don't think they're as good as Peter Parker though. And it's kind of hard to go past the original on that sense. Then I mean, I grew up it's always was Peter Parker until Ben Parker came into play with the Clone Wars series or Ben Riley. Um, in my time, I don't even know if I still have it. I have one of the white issue holographic Amazing Spider-Man books. I think it was Amazing Spider-Man. That came out with the Clone War back in the day. I remember picking it up, and I knew the white issue was the rare copy. Or I think the white issue was the rare copy. I mean, I had to get out of comic books when they started making the variant covers too frequently. Um, that started to become too much of a problem, and it's still a problem. I know they make them these days just all the time, um, and it's frustrating. Okay, ribbon. That's ribbon. That's your glove. Where else is the pink? It's on the bow. And it's into the choker as well. Yep, the choker. Speaking of Spider-Man, what is it? Hold on, let me. Dadgummit. Saw the No Way Home. Let's see. You plan on watching No Way Home if you've seen all the MCU films. I have not seen the most frequent MCU films. Um, but in fact, I haven't even seen the last Spider-Man film, the one before No Way Home. I haven't seen the second one of these current Spider-Man films, so I've not seen that one. And I do plan to see No Way Home. I do like the Spider-Man films. Um, Shang-Chi, I'll probably check out. I have no interest to see uh, the externals. They were characters that I barely knew existed in the Marvel universe, and I had no interest in the Marvel universe. Um, I mean, I was kind of that way with Guardians of the Galaxy, but from what I hear, this is definitely no Guardians of the Galaxy situation. Um, where I could actually find something to love about these characters. Okay, there's the pink repeats in the hair. Marks. Let's get the blue going for the skirt. Yeah, I mean, I need to catch up on them. I'm behind on the Spider-Man movies. It doesn't help that the Spider-Man movies don't go on Disney Plus. Now I don't have Disney Plus right now. I dropped it after last year, after the end of the Mandalorian, because I was like, I don't care to watch it anything else. on here. I've seen what I wanted to watch, and I'm not going to come back for it. And Disney's now, of course, doing their push to try and get everybody back in before Mandalorian. But I don't even know. I mean, I'm kind of burned out. I don't even know if I'm going to come back for the Boba Fett story. I don't know. I'm more interested in the Boba Fett story than I am with some of the stuff that's been released on there. But I don't see myself paying that much money for Disney, honestly. I really don't. Um, I could probably see myself paying for the HBO Max collection because it does seem to have a lot more to it. Um, but honestly, being an anime fan, being an anime fanatic, I'd probably spend more money on the anime streams than anything. I'm and now that Verve is no longer carrying High Dive, I have to get High Dive instead of Verve. Um, so I and all Verve is going to be it's just what I get from Funimation app or Crunchyroll, and I have no doubt that Funimation's going to just absorb Crunchyroll at some point. Uh, now that they own them. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, I feel if Funimation can get some of the subbing creator people behind Crunchyroll um, working, they could probably get a few more series out each season. I mean, I do find it kind of. I'm trying to watch a few series, both sub and dub through Funimation right now. Um, I started the Demon Slayer last week, and I also started the second season of what is it? The Jobless. The first isekai, the first true isekai, the jobless, reincarnated jobless, whatever kid or whatever. I forget the proper term for it. But started watching both of those series. I gave up on the dub. Well, Demon Blade's dub hasn't started, or Demon Slayer's dub hadn't started. But Jobless Reincarnation is like one episode a week. Um, and they're about 4 episodes behind the sub. So I think I'm just going to keep watching the sub of both of those. Although I am enjoying. Kind of felt like since I watched Mugen Train that I wasn't going to enjoy Demon Slayer at least the first part of this season. I actually take it back. I am enjoying it. They put in stuff that was left out of the movie because of time limits that I am enjoying. So I take it back. And they're finally getting to the actual big fight of, well, first big fight of the train uh, in the anime. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how the television show handles the graphic detail that the movie had more details for or more money behind for. Um, but since it's the same staff, maybe they're just going to reuse some of it. I don't know. Um, and I'm back into watching the dubs of One Piece, uh, catching up to where they're at in the series. I, of course, read One Piece, so I know what's going on through the story, so I don't really care, but I do want to see some of the voices for characters on Zoe as they're going into Zoe. Umai? Umai? What do you mean by umai? Not familiar with that term, umai. I'm going to put the pink there. I need to do a gold line around it, but it's going to be easier to do the pink and then go to gold. Gold on the boot. Gold there. Gold there. Trying to think of a few other series I've been watching. Of course, I've been watching the dub of what is it? Crap. Life lessons from Uzumaki-chan. Or Oni-san. Oni-san. Because it's a hilarious series. I enjoy it. Kanjuro said when he was eating the food on the Mugen train. Oh yes. Oh. Yes. Umai. Oh yes. Yes. He kept shouting it. I loved that he that they open the door when he's on there on the train and he literally causes people to fly back because of just him saying it. I do enjoy that. It's enjoyable. Tasty. Yes. Tasty. 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 I am loving the Demon Slayer series. I wonder. I know they're supposed to go into the pleasure arc after this. I'm wondering how far they'll go into it because the story's not that long. For a manga, it's only got, I don't even know if it has 100 issues. It's run its course for the manga. I know they're doing side stories since, but it's not a long series. We're not talking a series that's still going. It's been done for almost a year now. And I mean, saying that, I mean, My Hero Academy's coming to an end. Dr. Stone's coming to an end. A lot of series are coming to an end. I mean, technically, One Piece is coming to an end, but that's on Oda terms of when it comes to an end. So we'll never know. That could be 5 to 10 years from now. Whenever Oda finishes it. Imagine if Demon Slayer and Demon Slayer cross. I mean, technically, it could happen. I wouldn't doubt it. I could technically have them in the same canon universe. I might do a fan story of that because I mean once I'm done the 2020 and I screwed up there. Once I'm done the 2020 Demon Blade story, we will be doing finishing up the One Piece fan comic. And then after that, I mean, it's up in the air. I know a lot of people, there are a couple different options. There was the Ruby comic I kind of started, but it stopped. But I'm not a fan of Ruby anymore. I kind of fallen out years ago, and I don't think too many people are fans anymore of Ruby. It's on a huge decline these days. But I mean, I leave it open for the fillers when it's a week with the Patreons that I don't have somebody do a request. I'll try to do it once a month have a filler comic in for them, and right now it's the Demon Blade 2020, which is, I think, page 14 out of 20. So I think we're 6 pages away from the end of it. And there is an end for that. And once that's over, I know a lot of people want to see the One Piece continue story. And so that's going to be continued right after that. Which will be beneficial doing that afterwards, because by that point, I'll at least know who else is joining the crew, likely. Because by the time that occurs, the ending of that occurs, it'll be late spring, early summer, for that to come to an end. And we'll be looking at, I know Jinbei is at least already planned in the story to come in the into that comic. There's going to be an appearance, I think, of Carrot, unless she's not a crew member. I still might have her in there. And if any of the samurai come along, I might have them in there too. But I definitely, probably, more than likely, I can see Yamato is definitely joining at this point. I know Yamato's joining. So Yamato is probably going to make an appearance in that comic too. I don't know how I would do it with Yamato, though. I think Yamato will probably be at the end. Once the secret is discovered that Luffy's disguised as Nami. Yes, for those who don't follow me through DeviantArt, there are a bunch of comics that I've done, fan comics, especially on DeviantArt. One of which is called One Piece Days at Sea. It is a joke comic that someone asked me to do, that got started, which was have Luffy disguise as Nami. And I said, well, knowing the personalities of the Straw Hats, Luffy pulling that crap off on the ship. One, we all know how it's going to end. Luffy's going to get his ass kicked by Nami. We all know that's coming. That's a given. That being said, you have reactions from Sanji. You're gonna have. We already have the reaction of Zoro and Usopp in the comic, and it's ended on the reaction of Brook, which is gonna. The next page has been well planned for years. I just haven't drawn it, which is a true Luffy to Brook answer of the question of will you let me see your panties. So it's basically, if you ever wanted to see Nami with Luffy's mindset, that's what you're getting in that comic. And I created one Luffyism power, which is the Gum Gum no water balloon, which is Luffy just creating giant boobs on himself by drinking any liquid. The humor in it being that what he drank was not water, it was glue. So his boobs are going to be stuck. He's going to be stuck with boobs in the end. It's a nice little stupid joke, but yeah, it's dumb but silly, and that's the point of the whole story. It's just a fan-made parody, based off of one question that somebody asked me: what would happen if Luffy disguised himself as Nami? And I went on the concept of Luffy likes to imitate all the characters in the Straw Hat crew, and he's kind of done it with almost everybody except for, I think he's even done Robin. I don't think he's not done Nami. And I think he knows because Nami will kick his ass. If he does. and it's of the law of dynamics that Luffy's biggest threat is Nami, because she will always be able to kick his ass no matter how strong he gets. One of these is on a layer. I think it's that one. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that'll be the follow up after the 2020 filler is done. Um, but yeah, I might do Demon Blade slash Demon Slayer crossover as an option. Um, so I know at the end of Demon Slayer, we technically see them in the modern world. Um, so I think it would be interesting to see sort of the characters come and meet. I mean, it may be the option for Demon Blade's 5,000 mark. I think the 5,000 mark for is the next one I'm going to slate at the end with things. But I might put in other details for, hey, if you guys get to this point in YouTube fandom or subscriptions, if I get to this point and other things, I'll do something strong. Speaking of Nami, which of her outfits do you like? I know, like the outfit, red and yellow, green top on Strong World. I always liked, and I tried to imitate this when I first came out. And I actually had an outfit that kind of mimicked it, and I was going to cosplay her from her Water 7 outfit, which wasn't her more revealing outfits. It was her in a blue top with a pink tie and her skirt in that one. And I, for some reason, I love that outfit, and I had an outfit similar to that, and I was going to cosplay. I rarely did cosplay at conventions. That's one thing I didn't really do much of. I did it once, which was actually ironically the year before I came out, or the convention I came out right before I came out. Um, and I cosplayed at the convention one of the Nirma Daikon brothers. Because a friend of mine was gonna go as one of the other ones, and Greg Ayres, who was a local Richmonder voice actor, was one of the main characters of the Nirma Daikon brothers. So we dressed as the Nirma Daikon brothers for that series. Little unknown series. If you ever want to hear Greg Ayres sing, Greg Ayres and what is it? Chris. What is it? The actor he does a good job playing off sides a lot of times. And I'm slipping in his name, but he's a popular voice actor as well. But and the irony is it's a Nabashin creation. So if you know of XL World, of course, Nabashin also is the creator of Cowboy Bebop. His real name, of course, being Shinichiro Masamune. I forget his. God, I'm forgetting his name. Watanabe. Shinichiro Watanabe. AKA Nabashin. Nirma Daikon Brothers was one of the rare moments where you had Nabashin appear. So it was in canon with Excel. And it was a stupid series, but you want to see Michael Jackson be a villain. You check that series out. And an ironic twist to Demon Slayer, where Michael Jackson is the villain. But I don't know why I went to Demon Blade there. But yeah, it's one of the rare moments I cosplayed. I don't cosplay. I've never been into cosplay. I absolutely respect and love people who do. I just never felt I fit a cosplay costume. after I came out, and I've lost some weight, although I've regained it in the last few weeks. Yeah, I probably could have cosplay a bit towards Sailor or Sailor Jupiter, because I have the long hair, the green eyes, but I'm also old and fat, uh, so it doesn't work too well. I don't know why I did her eyes on Sailor Moon's or Sailor Moon's eyes on her when we're doing her eyes. Okay, let's go back to her eyes. They're still blue, but they're a different shade of blue. Okay. Um, I mean, there's a lot of One Piece. I've I've watched the series over and over again. I've, of course, watched the anime up and down. I've not been able to watch all the movies. I ironically I've not seen Gold. I don't know why I've not seen Gold. I tried to go see Gold. I just couldn't get to it in time. And I've not been able to get it on DVD. And it's one that is like, why hasn't Funimation started releasing the One Piece movies on their streaming service? I mean, I'm able to watch Mugen Train on their streaming service. Why can't I watch the One Piece movies on there? That I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's the studio, I guess, that's causing the issue that you have to get the streaming rights for. But I don't know why I can't watch the One Piece movies, or those One Piece movies. And there are other One Piece movies. I mean, I've seen Baron Takamo. I've seen One Piece 7 or whatever. I saw, One Piece 8. I've seen a bunch of the movies from the earlier movies, but I had to, fan sub them because it's the only way to watch them. And I think 7 is by far one of the best ones out there. And it makes no sense why we can't get it legally. Um, when, I mean, it is absolutely a beautiful film. Yeah, some of the other films suck. Um, and we're not talking it's Simon from the Game Boy game. It was horrible One Piece villain character that was a fruit user. Um, I might have to do some One Piece streaming and talk about One Piece. I've been thinking about doing just anime storyline or streaming or something. Just doing some anime chat or something like that. I might do that. I might replace the story stream in that in the future because the story stream doesn't get that much attention. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I would love to see more to the story stream get attention, but at the same time, I understand why people don't want to watch it. And I mean, we got to keep things fresh, and that's the key. I mean, I'm not, like I've said before. I think I said it last week. I'm not doing these streams for money. I'm not doing these streams for more than just some attention to my work. That's what these streams are about. You're not going to see me be some big YouTuber, VTuber. I don't expect. That is not what I'm in here for. This is more a matter of just something to do and ways to connect. It also helps out with, I mean, this stream alone helps out with the people that want requests each week because I get them a lot through DeviantArt. And I mean, just help chat with people. It helps just keep me social. In a sense, I don't expect to make this something big. The gaming streams are just to kill time for me more than anything. I suck at games, as if you haven't seen on this gaming stream. But then I think a lot of people suck at games, and a lot of people accept that they accept at games. And I mean, hell, if something comes of it, hell, more power to it. But this is not a monetary stream. I'm not in it for the money here. I wish my artwork would make more money, but it doesn't right now. But I mean, at the same time, I know people are hurt with funds as it is these days. So I just want to try and create something that's enjoyable. So that's what the story stream is about. That's what this stream is about. That's all I really want, is something that people can find some enjoyment in. I mean, there's other stuff. I mean, I'd love to do as far as comic stories wise. I mean, it's coming down to the point though that I am meeting the max limit that I can physically do. Because I mean, we're seeing delays in everything I do at this point. And I mean, people talk about, hey, you know, you'll suffer burnout. Well, burnout is a thing, but at the same time, you've got to just work through it. Because if you don't, you're just going to just hurt yourself in the long run. Let's do Sailor Moon's white stripes. There's 3 stripes per the costume, but they only appear on the top half, not on the bottom half. So we need to get them down. Yep. Too severe there. I do not know why they don't appear on the bottom half. Here we go. And let's add some shadow to Nanohana's ribbon. Anime this week, I know I've got to watch Penguin Drum. That is the anime we're working on with the anime stream that I'm a part of. So I need to get to work on watching that series. I'm going to keep watching what I've been watching this week. Ironically, I've been going through a lot of Seinfeld when I've been doing off-stream prep for the gamings, particularly with Minecraft, but also when I've been doing some leveling up in Tales off-stream. I've been kind of doomed because Netflix decided to bring Seinfeld back on. And while I own most of the series, I don't have season 8. It's been sort of the odd thing. I've not been able to get season 8 of Seinfeld. It's the only season I've not been able to get. On physical copy. I don't know why 8 is so hard to get, but apparently everybody likes to keep season 8. I kind of know why, because some of the best episodes are in season 8. Or some of the most memorable episodes were season 8. I mean, it's kind of like, I do have a collection of South Park to a certain point. And I have a collection of, you know, other stuff that I try to do from a certain point. I needed the final Kenshin movie, which going back into live action and into One Piece in a bit. The character, the guy that's playing Zoro in the live action series for Netflix was the villain in the Rurouni Kenshin's latest movie. And the live action Rurouni Kenshin, I know a lot of people give crap about anime live actions being horrible. The Rurouni Kenshins are by far the outlier of that. I will also give the live action Gintama, because I watched that recently. Both of them are also, that also is a misnomer for live action anime movies are bad, or anime stuff is bad. If it's done right, it can look good. It's not going to be the anime, not going to be the manga, because of course you can't physically do some of the stuff. But you come in and accept that. And I have some faith with the choices of the One Piece live action cast. Especially with the actors chosen for Usopp and Nami. There's also Alita. See, I have yet to see Alita. That's on my list to watch. I've just never gotten a way to watch it. And now that Disney technically owns it, it's really hard to get it on streaming. Because Disney won't release it on Disney Plus, which is stupid. And at the same time, they won't put it on Hulu either. I think that's the only reason I was able to finally see Deadpool 2 was when I had Hulu briefly. It was on Hulu. So I was able to watch it on Hulu. Hell, the only reason I got to finally see Venom was because I was in the hospital when it was on. I hadn't even gotten to see the new Venom movie. Well, hasn't it come out yet? I don't even know if it has. Yeah, the first Venom movie I saw while I was in the hospital this last June. But let me see here. We got a few minutes, not too many left. Let me see if I can open up some Andromeda Factor stuff here in the stream. It's going to be older files, older content. Here we go. Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor stuff. Let's see if I can get some of the really old stuff here. Well, here's one of the first earliest drawings. Venom Let There Be Carnage is out. Okay, so that is out. So that's one of the first Sailor Moon Andromeda drawings I've done. Way back in the day. Hand-drawn stuff. It was stupid. Crappy art. So, I mean, those people who didn't know, yeah, I did do some of the hand art. For it, let's see, I can do some more, share some more. Watched it in theaters. I felt Venom. The Venom movie was good. Half of it I watched with I had to watch with subtitles, and I mean most of it I couldn't hear because I was in the hospital and the speaker they gave me was crap. To watch it on, so it didn't help. Here's an early drawing of the cat in the series that people loved. It was done in watercolor. Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull up some sketches here. I think this is from, well, this is an older one, but let's see if it'll open. Here we go. So, that was going to be a drawing for, that was a sketch for the next issue because I was doing artwork for each issue. That was going to be a sketch for the issue or the story where Mina was going to be playing Sailor Moon in a Sailor Moon anime. Or a Sailor Moon live action TV show in canon. So you had Mina coming in and playing Usagi in the anime, in the live action. and Usagi was upset over the whole thing. So I mean that was a nice little humor. No, actually, this character was named Circuit. Um, it is basically it followed on the concept that you had the cats in the series, um, as sort of guardians, and then they had a computerized version. Here's the updated version that I drew out later, of him. That basically the soldiers had a way to create, or had this sort of digital version of them, and through the story, Circuit was able to find his own body through junk that they found along the lines, and he built his own body. So you have a robotic cat through it. And Circuit was basically just a way to have a cat and introduce a new cat, but not actually make him a problem for Luna and Artemis's relationship. Um, it was amusing. Let's see here. Of course, we had Royal Crisis armor. This was something I drew. Where the idea throughout Andromeda Factor was characters would be getting armor. Yes, exactly. Although in this case, there was a movie being shot. Minako was trying to live out her dream to be a actress, and so Minako is playing Usagi and that sketch. And this is the Royal Crisis armor, which, given this is supposed to be Sailor Moon age 17, 16, 17, so I mean, this would be Royal Crisis armor. Of course, I went through the series, and we had the armor for. Let's see, I might redraw the Royal Crisis armor. That might have to be something I'll have to redraw on a stream. I know we had. I know in previous stream I showed off. So here was Chibi Moon's armor and tool. Then we had Jupiter, Crisis version of Jupiter. And I know I also introduced Crisis version of Mars. I had not introduced Venus or Mercury's Crisis version. Well, I did the story for Mercury's, but I never showed Mercury's. I'm trying to see where Mars is. I'm not seeing it right now. There it is. Crisis is Mars. The idea was the Inner Guardians were going to get armored basic transformations through this version, and they'd actually have some sort of physical armor bear into the outfits. And then we had Moira. Let's see if I can get a good one with Moira here. Here are two of the villains of the series, Iris and just the villain of the day. Yeah, I'll do the mud one. We'll do the mud one version of Moira. Andromeda. Great, just great. Iris gets in the way with whatever she was doing, and I'm covered from head to toe in mud. I think this has to be enough crap from today. I can get Sailor Moon another time. I had a story where futuristic Sailor Moon, but was more inspired by Marvel 2099 lineup. I loved some of the 2099 lineup. I did not like their X-Men take, but I liked the X Nation take, which was the Gen X version of them doing Gen X in 2099. I did like that take. I of course liked Spider-Man 99. And a friend of mine was a huge Doom 99 fan. Um, I don't know if he's still a Doom 99 fan. Um, I probably, yeah, I think during the live stream we might do the redraw of Crisis 90 or Crisis Sailor Moon. Um, what's the Let's Talk Serenity? Oh, oh, yeah, when Sailor Moon meets herself in the timeline. So she re-meets her version of Queen Serenity or Neo Queen Serenity. Bad drawings. These were when I was basically learning to draw on this tablet. Sadly, as I said at the beginning of the stream, this tablet is dying. There's no doubt of it. The wiring is fraying. It is time to replace. I don't know. Can I? Actually, I probably can get a new wire, actually, for it. I'll have to look and see if I can get a wire in the future. I would be probably happy to redraw some of this during a live stream. Like I said, I'm going to do a reading of some of the chapters of Andromeda Factor. But these were the re-release of Andromeda Factor. With the exception of, let's see, do not save. This and this. These were the original Andromeda Factor images. I'm trying to see if I can find anything else from the original. I know I did a couple of them, but it's so rare. Well, here's a Moira from that day. Back in the day. Well, no, that's tablet. That's early days of the tablet here. Because my hand drawing was far better than my regular drawing. Sad to say. Well, I mean, here's a hand drawn one back in the day, but I photoshopped it and it looks like crap. Let's see here. Crap. Some of these are just horrible, and I don't know why. I just didn't do the drawings a bit better. The three-way fight, I think, was pretty decent. If I can pull up where I moved it to. I know I haven't. Here's a silly one. Back in the childhood days. So, I mean, yeah, it goes to show, this is not, I've got older stuff that I'm going to show probably in the live stream. And for the 25th anniversary, that will show how my hand drawing changed over the years and developed. And we'll go into that on the live stream. I don't want to go too much into the Sailor Moon Andromeda Factor now because I do want to cover some of it on the live stream on the 10th next month. But I am done. I'm glad. I thank you, Damien Tran, for joining. I thank Justin, who was Cooking Dojo as well, for joining in and chatting. I welcome any and all also to continue to chat through comments. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, this series is 100% fan created because these are all done by requests. With the exception of a few now and then, I will do, like the Christmas is going to be a non-request one. It'll be one that I'm doing specifically on Christmas. But I do want to thank everybody for joining in tonight. And as I bring this to a close from our drawing today, we're going to chat from our sponsor, which is, as always, Built Bar. I am a huge fan of Built Bars. I enjoy having them. They are a great protein. You're welcome, Damien. Uh, Bar. They have great low fat, low sugar, high fiber, high protein, and they are amazing taste. That is what Built focuses on. They want to have the taste first. So, if you want to have something that helps you with a protein bar, or even if you're trying to cut back on candy bars and you want something that has a nice little sugar kick flavor and all that, then absolutely go to built.com and use the promo code EmbryArts and get yourself some Built Bar flavors that you know you will absolutely love. I guarantee it. I have had a mint bar this morning. I mint brownie bar, like the one shown right there in the corner. It's one of my favorites. Is mint chocolates. As per a lot of people, it's one of the most popular flavors out there. All people of all foods. So absolutely, go to built.com/embryarts and get 10% off your order today. And as always, I want to thank you all for joining into this stream. If you have a request, be sure to comment or leave a message on social media or here. And I thank you all for joining, and I'll see you again next week with a new drawing. I Next week is not Sailor Moon, but in 2 weeks we will be doing another Sailor Moon drawing. But yeah, we will be next week will be the first of our requests. In fact, let me see what we've got here on the request stream listing. Just going down, waiting for it to load here. Release schedule. So next week is Lunana. So that is going to be the request character from Pokemon series. Lunana, I believe, is who it is. And then we'll actually have Sailor Moon on the last week of this month. So we will be back with Sailor Moon this month. And then we get into the Christmas season and some Christmassy story drawings. I will be streaming again tomorrow night with our live story stream that was supposed to be Thursday, where we'll be doing Chapter 2 of 11 Kingdoms. We'll also be doing our gaming stream. 2 months, there will be another Nanahano related drawing request by me. So, yeah, let's see, 2 months, yep. There will be another one of those as well. So we'll be seeing things then. And I know we've got another, I keep getting requests throughout the day. So, I mean, if you have a request, we are currently almost into March with requests at this point. And I'm going to start doing some art drops streams occasionally here and there. I didn't do one this week because I felt ill. Hopefully with the meds coming back, I'll be back in proper shape. But I will also start doing some work outside of the home a little bit more. So we'll see. I'm going to try and move streams around, particularly gaming streams. The art streams, though, and the story streams probably are going to stay at their same time slots. So theirs are not going to change anytime soon. The gaming streams will likely change about as they go. But I thank you all for joining. I hope you have a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend, and a wonderful week. And I'll see you next week.